Good morning. Oh, we don't even have Bibby full screen. We've got Bibby in a box. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and it's a pleasure to be back on the scoop for the first time this week. As you may tell from my voice, I have all the germs. I have the lurgy, but I also have the Bib in a box. Interesting setup today. We've got Bib at home and we've got Graham at home. Looking nice and relaxed there, Bib.
I am extremely relaxed, mate. I couldn't be more comfortable.
I couldn't be more comfortable. Easy, Chinandla Bong. So, how's it been scooping without me all week, Bib?
Well, if Luke is in here, you'll know that he's done a fantastic job being my co-commentator, co-host, whatever you want to call him. He's been fantastic.
But Luke isn't in here, so how has it really been?
Oh, do you know what? Never again.
Morning, Luke! Yes, this is The Scoop. We are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, and you might be able to tell that the name's intentional. Ice Cream Scoop. High five over the internet. Yeah, you're welcome. Yes, so this is The Scoop, your daily dose of news from the games industry and beyond. We do all the legwork for you guys. We get all the best articles and bring them to you up close and personal, front and centre. We give you our thoughts, and you can give us your thoughts on our thoughts in the Twitch chat at 10 a.m. each and every single weekday at twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. But if you can't be there at 10 a.m, we know you've got jobs, you've got a life, and all sorts of things. One person that doesn't have a life is Pirate, because he's here. Yeah! Good morning, Pirate. Thank you very much for the host. But yeah, if you can't be here, don't worry. If you're watching this on YouTube, Hi, how are you doing? Good morning, good evening, good night. Whatever time of day it is, we turn this live stream into a video podcast that we put on YouTube around an hour after we go offline. So about early afternoon-ish, it goes live as an on-demand video podcast. But if you don't have the time to sit down and watch a full video, because sometimes Bibby just keeps talking and talking and talking, and we can't stop him. And okay, all right, fine, it's me. All right, chill out. So if you don't have the time to watch a full video, we do turn it into an audio podcast for 4 different places. I can't remember the word. Well, so we have iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and the OG that is SoundCloud. Did I say that one already? Spotify.
You did, mate. You're missing iTunes.
Honestly,
mate. Sorry, I know this is a fucking howler this morning.
No, I hit iTunes first, but it was I meant to say Spotify, but I think I said SoundCloud. Anyway, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and SoundCloud. I usually like to say SoundCloud to the last, but anyway. Let's just jump straight into the news because, I've got the lurgy. You can probably tell from my... any word that ends in N and G, like sig, jumping, you'll start to notice it more and more as the show goes on. But, do you know what? We're professionals. This is the kind of thing that we live for, and we're here. We'll put ourselves through this for you.
Absolutely.
Before we jump in that, Ads Players in the chat says, I have a question for Graham. Do you know what, seeing as you've just dropped that host on us, thank you very much for that. Go on, fire away. We want to know.
I'm very interested to hear what this is.
I did see that he had a question for you yesterday, but I didn't get to see the actual question. What was the question yesterday?
Now you're putting me on the spot. Whether or not I'm going to be doing my modded Master League again this week.
Okay. Do I like Michael of House Hunt? He's a bloody good chap. You need to try harder than that, boy.
Yeah. I mean, he's ill on that, but you have to get up a little bit earlier to try and catch him out with jokes like that one. I mean, for me, I would have fucking said it. You know what I mean? I'm an idiot. But
it's an old school one. There's a film. I'm trying to remember what it is. All I remember is that there's some like highway US sort of highway cop kind of thing, and someone pulls him over and he goes, "Can I take your name?" He's like, "Yes, it's Mike Hunt."
Is it Bad Boys?
No, I thought it could be. I suppose maybe I'm merging it in. But I thought it was more like cheesy white dude commentary as opposed to like Will Smith, Martin Lawrence kind of thing. Bibby needs revenge. No, it wasn't me. It was Mr. Pitt.
The one-up.
It was the one-up man. No, it was Craig Pitt, Next Gen Renegade, that was the one that eventually got him. I was setting it up.
I will eventually get my revenge. Me and Anita groin.
It's like, all right, chill out. I mean, it's just like watching the Gladiator or whatever it's called. I will get my revenge in this life or the next.
Freedom.
Anyway, Maximus, Bibimus, Meridius, let's jump into the news. So first article of the day should be on screen for you now, written by Stephany Nunneley for VG247, and she writes that Pokemon Home features and premium pricing has been outlined. And that exclusive yawn doesn't feature in the title. That was a nice little addition for audio listeners. You are welcome.
Chewbacca, go back over there.
Chewbibba. Do you know, next time you shave your beard off, I'm getting you a Chewbacca mask. not just a beard one. I'll go full Chewie. Anyway, jumping into the news. More details and pricing for the new cloud service app, Pokemon Home, have been provided by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. The Pokemon Home app enables trainers to continue their Pokemon adventures by managing their collection of creatures across many of their games. Launching next month on Android, iOS, and Switch, you will be able to link your Pokemon games and deposit your catchers in Pokemon boxes in the cloud or move them around to linked compatible games. Also, by linking the same Nintendo account to both the Switch and mobile versions, you will be able to access the same boxes from both platforms. As previously announced, the Switch version supports connectivity with Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. It also supports connectivity with the Nintendo 3DS's Pokemon Bank, and Pokemon Go support is in development. So jumping down, Pokemon Home details and premium pricing. Connecting home to wow. Okay, this is a heavy article.
Yeah, you don't need to read all this shit.
Okay, let's jump out of the article there, back in to the chat. Pokemon Home. I saw people upset about the pricing of this, says Ads Plays. Morning, Connor. Good morning. Do you know, before we jump into this, Connor, as you will probably tell from his name, BK. If you don't know what that stands for, that's Buzzkill, by the way. Check out his Spanish esports account on Twitter. It's at Buzzkill. It used to be at Buzzkill_ES, because obviously it's Hispania. Yeah, he was telling me about his PUBG mobile team yesterday, and if you know anything about PUBG esports, there's a team called Space Station Gaming, which is pretty decent. Anyway, he sent me a video of one of his guys 1v4 in the whole squad, absolute melted. Good morning, Mr. VanDervoort. Thank you very much for the host, you lovely men. How's things?
Okay.
So you've been through this article, babe. I haven't. I've literally just read through it then. Ad says people are upset about the pricing. Let me bring the discussing now up so people know what we're on about if you've just joined the chat. Pokemon Home details. How much are we looking at for a Pokemon Home subscription?
Okay, so if you was to use the Nintendo eShop for 1 month, you're looking at £2.69. For 3 months, £4.49, and 12 months, £14.39. You'll be very interested to know that the mobile version of this, and iOS and Android, is significantly dearer, believe it or not. So 1 month on iOS and Android is £2.99, 3 months is £4.99, and 12 months is £15.99. I've just seen that you brought them up on the screen now as well. So underneath, you'll be able to see the premium upgrade plans, and it shows you what you get for free and also what you get for your paid premium plans. It's a good job I've got a pop shield because that was...
Particularly Pokemon procured from Pokemon Pink. There isn't a pink, but I wanted to say premium plan upgrades.
So you can see that the basic version is exactly what it says on the tin. It's just basic. It's pretty much, I don't want to say it's hidden behind a paywall because at this point it kind of looks like it is. The number of Pokemon that can be deposited in the free version is 30. Jesus Christ. Even if you just wanted to, put in the original gen, that's still 100. That's still 120 short. So
1/5. Yeah, 20% of the original generation you can put in. So for someone that's a pleb like me that's smashed the first gen but not played anything, so has no real reason to move things back and forwards. I mean, I do play Pokemon Go, but I'm not interested in moving things from one place to the other. Is the gist of this then that if I have Pokemon from not necessarily first gen, but the compatible games, I can add them to Pokemon Home or upload them or download them or whatever to Pokemon Home, deposit them, that's the one, and then move them into other games?
I'm guessing so, yeah. I mean, for me, this Pokemon Home stuff, I haven't played this brand new Pokemon. The last one I played was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, obviously, because it was basically kind of like a remaster of the original one at that point. But I am quite a big Pokemon game fan, but this sort of Pokemon Home thing does absolutely nothing for me. I get the fact that the National Dex is not in the new games, so you can't get them all. Obviously, they are still adding Pokemon
Isn't that in
basically drip
paid
feeding them.
DLC though that they're adding?
Yeah,
In?
well, they're kind of like drip feeding them, aren't they? At the moment, when you first bought the game, you didn't have nearly enough that people wanted. So this is kind of counterbalancing them by seemingly hiding them behind a paywall. But I mean, for me, a Pokemon game is capturing every single Pokemon that's within that game. I don't want to go to my 3DS and take all my Pokemon X and Y Pokemon into a brand new one. Do you know what I mean? If I can't catch them, then fair enough, they're not in the game. I don't need to go after them ones. But it seems a bit weird. I mean, if you are a professional, does Pokemon have esports? I'm not too sure. I
Uh,
imagine that they would have competitions of some sort.
there is definitely competition. I don't know to what scale in an esports environment. I know that they do have local events where people are obviously. I've had this conversation with Luke, so if you are in the chat group, hello, good morning. Feel free to jump in. But there is all sorts of stuff that I didn't even realize. I knew that there was individual values for Pokemon. So rather than just being, oh, this is its CP or whatever, then Pokemon have stamina, HP, and something else. I can't remember what it is, but it's basically attack level, defense level, and life is the three bits. So Luke was telling me about that, and then there's it goes even further than that into these like speed and there's all the rest of it. So people are trying to breed perfect Pokemon or catch perfect Pokemon so that when they take part in the battles and stuff, they're playing with that 0.01 extra percent chance of having. Well, it's probably 0.01, but extra chance of having. The extra bit of damage to tick over, or the extra bit of chance of hitting, because different this luck I think is one other thing as well. So if you've got Pokemon that have better luck, they have better chance of landing moves. Some moves might miss and kind of things like that. So there is that because people do meet for offline esports events, and I've seen there's been quite a lot of things at game over the last few years where if you turn up for an event, you can get a card and this, that, and the other. So it does exist, but as to how big that goes up, I don't know whether if that's like more of a local community scene as opposed to something that's big in broadcast.
Well, this is kind of what I was thinking. So if the very much like Call of Duty or any annual title, the esports moves with the new generation. Fucking hell, I think I'm going under here as well.
Take the lurgy. I'm gonna breathe it on you. Am I looking the right way? I am.
So as the games kind of become annual, the competitions move with it. So you'll have like FIFA 20, PES 20, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Their titles, their esports competitions run with their latest game. So is that going to be the same with this Pokemon? The fact that we've got Sword and Shield, if they wanted to take their Pokemon from X and Y or whatever game that they want to take their strongest Pokemon from and import them into this one, they can then use them ones in the esports tournaments if that's the case for this. Because I don't see why you'd want these. Why would you want them in a game that you're not going to battle people for something? Fair enough if you're like Samantha battles her friends on Pokemon quite a bit on her 3DS. Like her friends have got it and they'll battle each other on there, but it's not for anything. It's literally just for bragging rights. But if you was to take it competitive enough, I don't see what this Pokemon Home is going to give you. Like, why would you want all of your Pokemon in this game when you've got nothing to play for?
Maybe we're not the target audience because.
Well, I honestly don't think. Well, I most certainly am not with this because I don't see the point in it.
Yeah, I mean we've spoken before. Neither of us have been. I mean, obviously, when there was the controversies before the latest Pokemon games came out, that there was no full. Sorry, I've got a dusty desk. So if you can hear noises, that's me cleaning mid scoop. That there was no full national dex, and there was a lot of issues with people saying, "I want to catch every single Pokemon. Why can I only catch certain ones?" And for me, I was like, "Yeah, I get your point, but I've caught all of the national dex when it was only one generation. I'm not really bothered about doing it again." So it was kind of lost on me, and that's probably the same kind of mentality for people wanting. I want my Pikachu that I've had for 15 years to be in my set, and I want all the rest of them to come forward. And maybe you're one of those people that's grinded and got a shiny Charmander, which you've got like top level shiny Charizard or something, and you want to bring that forward. Maybe that's the kind of thing.
I mean, if you bring them over to your Pokemon Home, it doesn't necessarily put them in the game for you to recapture again, does it? It means that you've already got the Pokemon in your bank, shall we say?
Yeah.
So it just seems a bit weird. Like I'm clearly not the target audience with this, but it feels like you're just giving Nintendo money for absolutely nothing at this point. Unless again it is for the competitive players, then you know what, I'll back it, because if you want your strongest Pokemon to go into these tournaments, don't you? And if you are very familiar with them and you was doing really well at like a 3DS level, then of course you want to bring them with you. So fair enough in that respect. But if you're not using them for a competition setting, then I don't see who this is catered towards. It just seems like easy money from the Pokemon side of things.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. The Pokemon community, with it being so big, it's so monetizable. And Nintendo have shown that time and time again. They aren't scared to make people pay for the same game twice. I mean, Sword and Shield X and Y. So they've done that from the very beginning. So they've gone, well, these people are clearly going to play for the exact same game. The only difference is there's a couple of ones in certain boxes in the database, and there's a couple of zeros in the others, so that you get some Pokemon and not the others. So yeah, I mean, I know particularly from playing Pokemon Go, the lengths that people will go to physically in the real world to catch a digital representation of Pokemon, and I say that as if I wasn't one of those people. I absolutely was. I absolutely was. So
There was nothing better than filling your decks in the game. Now, Jesus Christ, I am actually going under it.
Right, lads. Yeah, welcome to the scoop, lads. Yeah, my name's Bib.
If you was to import them into your new game and then they become an achievable catch, then again, I will back that, because that's just giving you something else to aim for. But to bring them over to your game, to already have them in your bank and be able to use them whenever, in just for the laugh, then it's a bit weird. It is a bit weird. £3 a month to be able to just walk around with a Bulbasaur in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Is that a Bulbasaur in your pocket? or you
That's
haven't
not
seen
weird.
it? Just want to jump back for a minute. Off work today, so I can finally tune in live, says Vern. Good morning, Vern. Have you got the full day off, or is it like, have you switched shifts? I know you usually finish like somewhere between 12 and 2 usually anyway. So, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, Vern, I see that as a personal slight, if I'm being honest. The fact that we usually scoop from 10 till, I don't know, somewhere between 11 and 12, depending on the length of the show. You finish at work at 12, so you essentially wait until we've gone off air, and then then it's like, yeah, I'll check out Twitch now. Thanks, mate. Although, to be fair, you were working before we started the scoop, so maybe we're the ones with the issue. We don't want Vern in here. What's with the crazy hats, says Enix. Well, do you know what? For the benefit of video viewers, I have, as you can see, facial hair on the go, and I have some crazy hair. I'm going to show you the state of my hair this morning. I am getting a trim today, so this is the reason for the hat. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, wow, it looks like I've got full-on baldness because of the where my hair.
That's a cow lick and a half, that.
Yeah, look at it.
And I'm basically just lazy enough. I'm working from home today, so I don't have to get changed until I have to have the first bit of dental work I've ever had. I'm having my first filling, ladies and gentlemen. I've never had anything done to my teeth, and I am absolutely devastated that at the ripe old age of nearly 30, I'm having to have my first filling.
Oh, I've got a full-on metal mouth. As I think we've spoken about it in the show before. Well, anyway, for those of you who don't know, welcome to Graham's Health History. Jesus, keep the cap on. I know, that's why I lifted it up. It looks like if I get it in the right spot, it looks like I've got a proper, like, guess it's sat on top of me. Look at, and the hat line as well adds to it. But yeah, I'm getting it trimmed. So
that has definitely been done in Turkey. That hairline, honest to God.
That's what I mean. It looks like one of those dodgy barbershop things that you've seen.
He's got a Rooney.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, that was it. I've got like well bad acid reflux, so my teeth slowly getting rotted from the inside out. But welcome to I'm a very beautiful human being. So as we've established in the last minute, I have a dodgy hairline and metal mouth. Yeah, good. I don't think I've ever seen you with a cow flick head. It's not so much a cow flick, it's because I've put the hat on straight after the shower. I actually don't have a cow flick. It's weird that I'm not used to people calling it a cow flick because it's a caw flick, but yeah, a cow lick or whatever other people have said it. But yeah, it's yeah, I jumped straight out of the shower, put the hat on, and that's hat hair. Just can you still hear me? I hit my microphone, which turns this mic on. I don't know if it overrides the mic.
I don't think we can hear Graham.
Yeah. Baby is a penis.
I've got a what?
Cat over your shoulder.
I have our Buster there. Go on, lad. He's a staple of the Bibby streams.
He terrorises my missus. Like when Bibby's streaming, just look like you can see it now. There, the cat's got like one of those stairs where the eyes follow you around the room. It's like, what are you looking at? Anyway. Absolutely, in a non-padding vein of form, Bib, can you see yourself opting in to Pokemon Home?
Absolutely not.
Really not? Why?
Absolutely
Tell me more
not.
for approximately 30 seconds or so.
It doesn't matter what I think about Pokemon Home. No, it's not for me, mate. But I am very excited about what we've got on the scoop today as well. Is that a Budweiser resting there until you finish streaming? Early start, that fella. No, I'm putting. I'm going to start adding more stuff to this just in case Budweiser, for whatever reason, thinks, you know what, I really want to see a modded Master League, or I just want to see someone play Survival Horror games, and they think, do you know what, we'll give them a sponsorship, and I don't have to buy a Budweiser for the rest of my life. Then that is my goal. I think he's just Graham's definitely 110% just muted his
Blowing my
mic so I can
nose.
blow his nose.
Yeah. Just didn't want to deafen everyone. I don't mind people watching me blow my nose, but this noise.
You just sneezed.
I'd now just blown it.
Oh, it looked like you just sneezed.
Number one, Pirate is looking forward to playing in the ICU Invitational # squad goals. To be fair, your team looks pretty tasty.
It does.
So for those of you that don't know, let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we jump into the next article. Only because, well, two reasons. One, it's pretty big news, so we might as well talk about it. And two, because Bibby really wants to talk about the next article. So the longer we wait, the more we can see you get excited.
I've just got an email. I've got my first golf competition in 2 weeks' time, and it's me and my mate. It's 3 people go out, and one of basically someone who's really, really good at the golf club has just decided to join our game. So that's not going to be any kind of pressure at all.
So you're like pushing the boat out, Captain Sporty at the moment. Bibby plays football last night, does a bit of golf tonight.
I'm just trying to not. I just don't want to be a titty streamer anymore. Do you know what, mate? That's all it is.
It's all right. I mean, you've got here wafting my luscious locks around, talking about my sexy denture predisposition. So yeah, it's all good. Anyway, as Pirate says, he's looking forward to playing the ICU Invitational. If you want to do yourselves a favour, go to Twitter and type in #ICUI3. So Ice Cream Uploads Invitational 3. For those of you who don't know, we hold invitational tournaments where we invite some of the biggest and best names from Twitch, from Twitter, from YouTube, from our community to get involved in a tournament. And as you can see there, thank you very much to BK Connor dropping the team announcement thread in the chat. That is the thread where we'll keep updating all the teams that are taking part in the Ice Cream Uploads Triple Threat tournament. This is our 3rd tournament, so in honour of that, we're doing 3v3. Parrot says, that's the only reason I watch. #best titty streamer. Yay. So yeah, make sure you check it out. We will be having more updates. As we haven't even mentioned the prizes and things that are coming yet. We've given you some hints as to what's coming, but there is some sexy stuff. So feel free to check it out. Connor's dropped ! socials in the chat, and as you guys are checking the social links out, if you haven't, hit follow on Twitch right now, but also hit follow on all those too, particularly Twitter, and get your notifications on, because then you will be notified when we have our prize announcements, what giveaways we'll be having during the invitational stream itself, and yeah, all of the goodness. But for now, let's jump into our next bit of news. Are you excited, babe?
Woo-wee! Am I excited?
Okay, as you can probably guess, the next bit of news is around PUBG getting an update to consoles. Now I'm checking it. It's this. There we go. Once again, written by Stephany, Nunneley, who's been a busy person this last 24 hours. Writes for VG247. Rumor: Resident Evil details may have leaked. Possible details on Resident Evil 8 may have leaked. As usual, keep in mind, rumours are just that until confirmed. Details on the setting, the protagonist, and enemies in Resident Evil 8 have potentially leaked. The information was sent to the Biohazard declassified tip line, and the site is very clear about filing the information as rumour for the time being. Still, the information provided to the site is rather interesting, as it said the game will see the return of Resident Evil 7 protagonist Ethan Winters. This time out, instead of being chased by the Molded, Sounds like a really dodgy indie band. He will have to contend with zombies and werewolf-type creatures. Chris Redfield is also said to be returning in some capacity. Gameplay starts in a village and will eventually lead the player to a castle in a rural, snowy, and mountainous region that resembles Europe, according to the rumour. The main antagonist is said to be a persistent, shadowy female enemy that will dog the player. If shot, she will... Just use the word dog there. All right, love. She's up for a bit. Anyway, if shot, she will dissipate instead of being killed. Sounds rather ghostly. The source also states that the game started testing last year will once again be in first person and may not be called Resident Evil 8. If not, it will instead sport a clever title, in quote marks. Again, take all of this as a massive rumour until confirmation comes from Capcom. Resident Evil 7 was the last main title in the series to be released. When it arrived in 2017, it was heralded as a return to what made the survival horror series beloved. The game ultimately shipped 3.5 million units in its first month and received continued support with 4 DLC packs. That's 4 DLC packs, not 4 skins, as we may be having coming to Fortnite, eh, babe? Most recently, Resident Evil 2 Remake was released to high acclaim, and we have a Resident Evil 3 Remake to look forward to in April. In one syllable and an audible noise, Bib, can you summarise that? Was that it, or was that the prep?
Yeah, that's it. You know the emoji, the grimace face, or whatever it's called. As if you won't be able to find the emoji on this, but I'm torn on this. I do love the fact that Resident Evil 7 was first person. The story was decent-ish. I hated the molded things. For me, Resident Evil is all about zombies. This is why I had the Reddit for stuff like this always goes wild when you mention 4, 5, and 6. Not because there was bad games, because there was decent within their own right. However, I don't like the way that the characters was. The Los Granados, there was virus rather than being zombies. So they moved like humans, they acted like humans, apart from they just wanted to kill everyone that wasn't Los Granados.
So it sounds like Salford locals, maybe a
Pretty
couple
much,
of people
yeah.
from Hyde.
Well, you do get chased around with axes in Resident Evil and chainsaws.
Like Salford
so, yeah.
and Hyde.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
take that back, says Enix in the chat. A Salford originator. I don't think you're not a Salford resident at the moment. Anyway, that doesn't matter. There's details. So okay, so the molded are they kind of like those Los Granados?
No, so the molded was it'll look like tar. So it'll take the figure of a human, but it'll just look like melted tar kind of thing. So they'd just drip, and then they'd hit you with like extended arms and
so evil flubber,
things like that. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Which, if you played it on hard mode, was like there's one part where you go down to the basement. It was just ridiculous. Like, but anyway, I love the fact that they're bringing back zombies back in this. The werewolf type creatures, not sure about that, and I don't like the fact that the antagonist, that's the one in it. The hero of the story is Ethan Winters.
Oh, that's protagonist.
Protagonist, sorry, is Ethan Winters in this. Oh, it says it right next to it there. Resident Evil protagonist Ethan Winters. He was the lead guy.
Remember, it is an antagonist antagonizes you, so they're like, "Come on, mate, you want to fight? I'm a ghost, and I'll not be it, mate." And that's Jordan in the chat again. Sorry, mate.
So he was the protagonist in Resident Evil 7. Then Chris Redfield came towards the end. We got some DLC called Not a Hero with Chris Redfield. Basically, it was just a first-person shooter. I didn't want to see Ethan again for at least another 2 Resident Evil games. I wanted one of the major guys. So I wanted a Chris, I wanted a Jill, I wanted a Claire.
Chris is returning in some capacity.
Yeah. Exactly, but it feels very much like Resident Evil 7 in that respect. It's basically that's what happened in Resident Evil 7. They're doing the exact same thing for Resident Evil 8. Ethan Winters, main protagonist, then Chris Redfield comes in towards the end. It's the exact same thing. So I'm very torn on this. Again, it's only a rumor at this point. It's been floating around for like 2 or 3 days. I didn't want to talk about it until more things came out about it, because I thought someone's just making shit up again. But it seems like it's got a tiny bit of substance. And that video there, by the Residents of Evil, by the way, is the best Resident Evil orientated channel on YouTube by an absolute landscape.
So for those of you that are on audio services, there's a video embedded in the chat. I've just hit play on it just so that there was a bit of a on-screen colour as we were running through it. But it's as Bibi mentioned, it's well, the whole thing is based on rumour, so naturally there is no visual stuff with it. I just wanted to see what the video is. At the moment, it's showing the Resi 3 remake visual stuff that's been. Was this the trailer that came out?
Yeah. So it looks like a combination of the first and second trailer just cut up. But yeah, I mean, I'm obviously ready for a new Resident Evil game. We've got one coming out in April, remake of the third one. I would happily take a new Resident Evil game every 2 or 3 years, mainline game anyway, like a Resident Evil numbered one, like 7, 8, 9, just so they can have more time to make up a decent story. I loved 7 because it brought us back to survival horror. What I don't want is just to ride that roller coaster of the same shit because it worked last time to do the same shit this time. I want them to. They've kind of jigged it up by bringing zombies back into it, which I'm super happy about. I want them to do a little bit more with this now. I don't want it to feel the same as it did last time. The setting was perfect being inside that house last time. It was very tight corridors. You was first person, so you didn't know what was going to ever happen in front of you, behind you, bash through the walls. I don't know, but yeah, I'm excited to see more. Put it that way. I don't think I'll be let down, but we'll see.
See, I've not played through 7. I've not played through any Resi games. I mean, I played, like I say, I played a bit of the old PS1 kind of stuff, but not played through them all. I did see, I think it was clips of, did Josie play through Resi 7?
She did, yeah.
And Precision, I jumped in a bit of Precision streams as well. I think, is it, in terms of, if you're playing 7, do you need to have played the other games? In terms of,
no.
Obviously, I know that usually having played those games helps in terms of you might get some in-jokes or the finer things, but do you have to have played it?
Not really, no. I'm just going through in my head. You don't really need to play any of them because they're all kind of... there's only 2 and 3 really that overlap, because 1 is you're in the Spencer Mansion. 0 is like a prequel, obviously, to 1 as you play as Rebecca Chambers, but Rebecca Chambers turns up in Resident Evil 1 but never references Resident Evil 0, so yeah. 2 and 3 overlap. 4 is Los Granados, so you're in...
So it went 1, 0, 2.
No, 0 came way later. 0 came last.
Who's doing the numbering? Is it the Xbox team?
I have no idea. I'm fairly certain 0 came after Resident Evil 4. So it may have been in between 3 and 4, put it that way. But they basically made a prequel because it was the first one that came. It was an exclusive at the time to the GameCube, because they had Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 0, and Resident Evil Code Veronica that was like exclusive to the Nintendo GameCube at the time. And then they didn't sell nearly enough, so then it got ported over to every other console, which is how I ended up playing them eventually, because I didn't own a GameCube.
Just dropped a link in the chat, by the way, just interrupted. For those of you that haven't seen it, we do actually have a Resident Evil giveaway. When does it end? Is it
Friday?
Oh, so okay, you've just got a couple of days left to get involved. Hit that link in the chat. And it will take you to a post where our gleam.io link is, and you've got a bunch of ways to enter a chance of winning. Do you know, actually, I've got the tweet on screen. I might as well show you guys. Ta-da! There we go. Our Resident Evil bundle, which is a bomber jacket, t-shirt, and a mug, which is, as you can see there, actually 100% legitimately placed on a table in the Raccoon Police Station, Raccoon City Police Station, even should I say. It's 100% not a work of art made by Next Gen Renegade, positioned on a green screen by Babe. It was legitimately put in Raccoon City. So, you know, that's the kind of stuff you get on Ice Cream Upload, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay then, as I know nothing about Resi,
I'm going to lend you my copy of Resident Evil 2, by the way.
Yeah,
remake.
I'll trade you. I'll give you Fallen Order. You give me that, and then we'll see. Yeah, my question is, obviously, this article that we were looking at from Steph Nunneley for VG247 hints, well, not hints, it hammers home the fact that it is a rumour. It's a rumour until it's proven. It's a rumour. What do you feel about that? Do you feel this carries some weight? Could it be legit, or does it sound like, is it just sounding like the obvious, or what? Your gut as a Resi fan, what do you think?
I know Resident Evil 8 is going to be coming sometime within the next year or so, maybe even 2 years at a push, basically because they've used all their assets and all their time as a developer to get Resident Evil 3 sorted out. What the contents of Resident Evil 8 is, I hope it's not what we've got here. Fair enough, we could take some elements of it with the zombies and these werewolves or whatever they are, but I want to change the protagonist. I want a different storyline. Do I think that this is going to be the Resident Evil game that we're going to be getting? No, I don't. I think this is it's too easy for them to be able to make a game like this, and with the high praise that they've had recently in the last 2 or 3 years, I feel like they don't want to drop a bollock with this. But it's Capcom. We've seen Resident Evil 6. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think this is a Resident Evil game we're going to get. I feel like it has some of the elements in that article that we are going to get, but hopefully it's not going to be the same protagonist and the way that the storyline's going on that one.
The interesting thing as well that we will never know is, let's say that is what the plan is for Resident Evil 8. Has that always been the plan? Has Resident Evil 2 and the hype for Resident Evil 3 remake, has that impacted on what they're going to deliver for the next, let's call it Resi 8?
Yeah.
Have they impacted it or not? And if that isn't the game, I mean, will they be impacted on what it is? I bet there's absolutely no way for something that is arguably Game of the Year for a lot of people last year, Resident Evil 2, the success that game had, that will have to have influenced the game. Whether it changes the direction completely, I mean, maybe not, but they've got to go, okay, well, clearly this has worked. People obviously buying into the nostalgia and the characters. I can hear my coffee going in the background. So they're clearly buying into all of that stuff, but the Mr. X, which they've kind of they've said that they've kind of worked on that in terms of the way they've reworked Nemesis. They've used the way that Mr. X worked onto how Nemesis is going to work. So you've got to think, okay, well, this shadowy figure that's this ghost sort of apparition in Resident Evil 8, that person, that will have to be influenced again. You've got to think by the way that Mr. X and obviously, as we'll see later in this year, Nemesis have impacted the game as well.
But that's what I mean. I love the fact that they will go back to the first person, because I think that works really well with the elements in that game, because you was in a very small house in very tight corners, and using the third person camera angle probably wouldn't have worked. So I would have liked to. I mean, for me as a Resident Evil purist, I want to see some tank controls. I'm very surprised that nobody has modded the Resident Evil 2 game to have tank controls and have static cameras. It's weird that no one's been able to do that yet. But yeah, we'll see.
While you were talking, then I was just trying to find a clip of you crapping yourself in the Resident Evil streams, but I can't find any. Oh well, if you want to check it out, check
that bad.
Yeah. Is that the liquor? Oh. Just go to Ice Cream Uploads on Twitch, search the clips. There will be a bunch of clips, because Bibby did play through all of. Actually, there we go. There's my favourite clip from the Resident Evil playthrough. Let's bring that one up on screen. Yeah, if you haven't seen Bibby playing through Resident Evil 2, you missed out, because we got to do things like this.
What is that? Oh, in the corner here,
Yeah, it's just a zombie.
I'll go mad! I'm gonna go mad! For fuck's sake!
Oh god.
So yeah, if you want to see that, all of the clips are still available on the channel. Do you know what? I'll link you to that one directly, so you can check it out for yourself. If you are watching this on demand, obviously you will have just seen it anyway, but there you go, the link. Oh, I'm not logged in on Streamlabs. No, I'll put it in the Stream Manager. Pow. There we go. There is the link. Anyway, that's enough Resi chat. Let's move things forward. We have 2 more articles left today, and this one is a little bit more legit in the fact that we aren't commenting on rumour. This one is happening, and it's an interesting crossover. So for those of you that haven't seen it yet, on screen now, an article written for Polygon by Michael McWhertor? Yes, good lad Mike. He says, Terminators invade Ghost Recon Breakpoint this week. Come with me if you want a live event.
Nice work.
Points out of 10. What do you reckon for that?
It's a solid 7.
Nice. Need more of the where are you? That kind of... Yeah. Do you know what? Let's forget the article. Let's go back to bad impressions on Ice Cream Uploads. So for those of you that want to have a solid Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Someone told me, I can't remember who it was. It was some. I've done it for years anyway. The best way to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression is stick your tongue out of the middle of your mouth and don't touch the edges, and then say, "Where are you?" And I was like, "What?" And then so I did it. I was like, "Where are you?" I was like, "Wow, that's amazing!" So there you go. Where are you? There you go.
Put the cookie down now.
Damn it, Cohagen! Anyway, stepping away from the cookies and the Cohagens and the tongue life hacks into the article. The Ghost Recon and Terminator franchises may not have had the best year. For those of you who don't know, Ghost Recon Breakpoint released and it was meh, and Terminator released and it was meh. So now they've joined forces and they're making a game that is, well, we will see before we but a new and free event for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint looks potentially interesting. Basically, a time traveller from the year 2029 journeys to Breakpoint's archipelago. Anyway, I'll read that again. Basically, a time traveller from the year 2029 journeys to Breakpoint's archipelago setting to warn of a cyborg threat. And it's up to the Ghost Recon team to save the future. Do you know what, actually? I was taking a piss saying they both made that. Actually sounds pretty tasty. The first part of the Terminator event, Mission 1, funnily enough, what a name. I mean, they've put a lot of thinking into that one. So the first part of the Terminator event, Mission 1, comes to Ghost Recon Breakpoint on January the 29th. That's today. While Mission 2 drops on February the 1st. The whole thing runs through February the 6th. The players will meet up with a new character named Raza Alwyn, who claims to be from the future and in need of help putting down a Terminator invasion. Players will batter T-800s, which definitely do not resemble Arnold Schwarzenegger and appear to be manufactured on the island, and earn event-exclusive items. Those Terminator-themed items include customization items, gear, vehicles, weapons, and attachments such as the Mark 14, Terminator rifle, Uzi submachine gun, and face paint that gives players a shredded T-800 look. You can preview the Terminators event items in the video above. Ubisoft teased the Terminator event at E3 2019. As we said at the time, Ghost Recon Breakpoint story about robotic technology going horribly wrong is a thematic match, more or less, for the Terminator franchise's dystopian sci-fi story. It's also in line with the Ghost Recon franchise's use of cameos from Arnold Schwarzenegger flicks. So I'll hit play on the video as we ask the Biberino his thoughts.
It's a very interesting crossover because the Terminator franchise itself, like, they brought out a new film last year. I don't think it did that well, but it's weird that they're doing the Terminator event now. You'd think they would be doing the event while the film was on, very much like what Fortnite was doing with Star Wars while that Star Wars film was on. So it's weird that they're bringing it out now, but I mean, Breakpoint could need something like this to try and give it a bit more life again. Does this make me want to play it? Yeah, actually. It's a very interesting dynamic. It'll be. I imagine them being bullet sponges, very much like what the enemies are like in the Division. So you get just a normal human that has like 17 million health. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it does make me wanna play it actually. But it's just weird that they're doing it now rather than a couple of months ago when the film was actually coming out. That would have been a nice little tie-in. They both could have done with each other at that time.
Is there a DVD release impending?
Possibly. I mean, the film was out in the cinema like 3 or 4 months ago, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I imagine so. It'd be right around the corner.
I can't remember the name of the film. Terminator, Dark Fate, is that it?
Yeah, Dark Fate. Yeah. But I mean, this doesn't even obviously have Arnie's look. It just looks like basically it looks like Hitman.
There you go.
Agent 47 or whatever it is.
Terminator Dark Fate release date February 2020. So
there we go.
There you go. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. It's like the Predator event they did on Wildlands. Oh, did they do a Predator event? Interesting. There is a Predator game coming as well. So
yeah. But it's weird that they've done the Predator one first. You did them the other way around, wouldn't you? You'd have done the Terminator one when the Predator one was on, and then the Predator one now with the new game coming.
But the Predator one was on Wildlands, which is an earlier game,
okay.
So that must have been.
Yeah.
Was there a previous Predator film coming out? There was a Predator film a couple of years back, actually. So yeah, I'm assuming that came out alongside that. But yes, it's nice to see. It's interesting. It's good to see that Ubisoft clearly had big plans for Breakpoint. Because imagine Breakpoint wasn't just another rehash of a Ghost Recon game. Imagine that Breakpoint pushed the envelope. You've got Shane from The Walking Dead or The Punisher, depending on where you know him from, as the lead protagonist in the game. He's the guy that you're going to run through all of the storyline with. Then if you had solid multiplayer games, so you've got solid story, solid multiplayer game, big face that you recognise. Yeah, you might not know his name, but you recognise him anyway. And then if you start running through the game, a couple of months in, you think, oh, do you know what, this game's on point. Not only that, it was sponsored all over, like WWE. Doc got involved. It was amazing. And then at the launch of Terminator, you start to get some crossover stuff. This is where it starts to get exciting. So you look at Fortnite having the Avengers Thanos tie-in, and then Batman involved and Star Wars involved. They're exciting. The downside for Ghost Recon fans is that it was just, the game was too samey. So what that does show is that Ubisoft have got their marketing down in terms of, it's probably not the most adventurous, and if they've done Predator in the past, it's kind of more of the same sort of stuff but different. So it's not something entirely new, but they're also not just reinventing the wheel. But that would have been cool, and it probably will be cool. I'm talking it as if they've missed an opportunity, obviously completely forgetting the fact that there will be players out there that have played Ghost Recon each and every single day since it came out, and either love that game or are fans of all Tom Clancy's games or all of the Ghost Recon series. So for those, I imagine that this will be a really welcome addition to the game. For people like me, is that going to make me rush out and get Breakpoint in time for February the 6th so I can play through Mission 1 and 2? Probably not. When I say probably, I mean 100% definitely not. I'm not going to pick it up.
I've seen Craig post in there that's saying Gears of War, I guess they dropped 4 skins into the multiplayer. They did it in Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat with Arnold Schwarzenegger was probably...
What did they do, mate? Gears of War...
They did actually drop skins into Gears of War though, so I'm not even asked about that one. But yeah, it's the Mortal Kombat one was fucking amazing. Did you see the trailer for it?
No.
I know you're laughing. Like, they did drop the skins into multiplayer though, so you know.
How many?
They dropped 4 skins into the multiplayer. Right. They dropped 4 skins into the multiplayer, Connor. They dropped 4 skins. 4 skins. 4 skins. 4 skins. Cock, willy, bum.
My cunt wants to know how
my
many...
cunt wants to know if my knee can go into your fucking groin.
Craig, I think he's had enough of your foreskins now, Craig.
Well, you know what? If it wasn't accurate, then I wouldn't have fucking said it. But the Mortal Kombat one was by far the best.
What was the Mortal Kombat? I'm completely off track now. What Mortal Kombat was what?
You can fucking look it up for yourself, mate.
It's all right, chat. I think maybe just...
You've broken me. You fuckers. You know what? I'm not going to read any of your fucking chat anymore. You're all scruffy bastards.
Can we get a bunch of salts in the chat? Oh, but Connor's already done it. Never mind. I will stop now. No, it's all right, Craig. He's an internet celebrity. He's on the world-renowned #1 UK gaming podcast. He needs to deal with this stuff. So suck it up, babe. Suck up all the skins.
I've all 4 of them because that's how many people watch this podcast. Anyway, I've turned the chat off because you're all fucking losers.
Mike Oxsmall is unhappy apparently. Yeah, me too. If that was the case. So yeah. Anyway, welcome back on topic. Back in the room. Back in the chat room. What Mortal Kombat? What were you saying?
You can get the trailer up, mate, because it's fucking dynamite.
It's all right, babe. God.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm not. I'm fine. I'm fine.
The way you said it, I genuinely would have read that out.
I did genuinely read it, but that's exactly what happened. So it's like he's fucking trying to bait me. But there definitely was the skins, the 4 skins that was in the Gears of War multiplayer.
The thing is, I genuinely had switched off to baiting then, and I probably would have read that out if you hadn't read it. That's why I was laughing so much. Thank you very much. I want to pronounce this right. Is it Endre Gaming? But however it's pronounced, thank you very much for being here. Have you tuned in time to see us chatting about foreskins? Because if you are, then you are a very, very lucky boy. Is Bibby wearing the Astro A40 Ti headset? He is wearing the Astro A40 Ti headset, and it looks very good. How's you like them? How'd you like your headset, Bib?
I've already got one of them, not four. But I like the skin that's on the side of them with the blue on the side. Very nice.
Yeah, that brew is horrible.
Why is it in a milkshake cup?
In a milkshake cup?
Yeah, it's in what you like. You know when you get the milkshakes that have the scoops of ice cream in.
It's in a metal thermal travel cup kind of thing to keep it warm. But
have you washed the cup out?
Yeah. It's just not enough of the coffee has gone through, so it's pretty weak. So I'm not drinking that a bit.
Eesh. Yeah. Extra sugar.
It's brown water with a hint of coffee. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, nobody got time.
Oh, Magic Man's dropped a clip in the chat. Is this the Mortal Kombat video, Bib? Let's check. No, it's not. Okay, I can't get. Got no audio. Where's my audio? No. Are you guys getting the audio of that through stream when I'm playing the background?
I did in the last video.
I'm not getting.
I have you muted on my screen.
Strange. Oh well, the link is in the chat. I'm not getting the audio, so I won't play that through. Whereas I am getting the audio from our stuff. Bizarrely, there's no audio there. Anyway, the link is there in the chat if you want to click it. Thank you very much for the clip, Magic Man. Anyway. Did you send me the link for the Mortal Kombat stuff?
Me? I thought you said someone's in the chat, didn't you? Yes, one sec. They brought the Joker out as a DLC in Mortal Kombat 2, and that trailer was dynamite. Mortal Kombat Terminator. They actually Terminator.
Mortal Kombat 11 Joker countdown start time confirmed. Fatalities release date. Oh, I'd literally missed all of that.
It looks sick. There we go.
Let's bring that on whilst we chat about this. Oh, that looks sick. So,
did you actually miss this?
No, I didn't. I didn't miss the Terminator, but I was talking about the Joker then when you mentioned the Joker.
Oh, okay.
I didn't, because this was like a pre-order skin or something that you got. If you pre-ordered the game, you got Terminator. That looks class. That does look class. The thing that I did miss though was the Joker. So when you talk about Joker in Mortal Kombat 11, I've just googled that and I'd missed that because obviously that's like.
Oh mate, put that trailer on. That's probably one of my favourite trailers ever. I'm not even joking.
I miss Mortal Kombat games. Kano. But Terminator does look pretty badass, to be fair. Just Jax. Oh.
The best part of the trailer is at the end of that Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator one.
Okay, skipping forward. As in, like, how far forward? Finish it.
Yeah, go back slightly. There you go.
Oh, I have seen. Yeah, I've seen this. Poor Jax. Damn.
So good.
Yeah, that is class. Joker early access to combat pack users is today, and it's friggin' amazing. Okay, let's check that trailer out as well then. Oh, go away with your adverts. Skip.
What's an advert this for?
Some dodgy film. Do you know, I've literally just watched the end of the Joker film.
It's quality, innit?
It's definitely good acting. Yeah, it doesn't give me anything new. As someone that's not the biggest DC fan, it's the same story, but with really good acting instead of like cheesy Jack Nicholson acting. In your nuts! Get out of here! Do you know what the Joker's reminded me of here? Doink the Clown from the WWE arcade game on the SNES.
But I don't think Mark Hamill's been credited with the voice in this, but it does really sound like him. Unless they've got a voice actor that sounds like Mark Hamill to do it, because obviously he did all the animated series and the Batman games.
Mortal Kombat 11 is 65% off on the PSN store, says Magic Man. So if you are interested in these trailers, you know I'm going to skip forward to the finishing, because we've stayed on this for quite a while. Was that a friendship finisher?
It's quality.
Badass.
But yeah, the Joker is like one of my favourite characters of all time in absolutely anything, whether it'll be film, games, TV, comic books, whatever, is just awesome.
Killing all the tabs. Which Joker did you prefer then? See, there's obviously been two particularly good ones, but which would you prefer? Would you prefer Heath Ledger's or Joaquin Phoenix?
That's a tough one, because obviously the Heath Ledger's was revolutionary at the time, because it was very dark and sadistic, one that we've not seen before played out on TV. I do like Joaquin Phoenix, but as a boy of the 90s, as a 90s kid, I absolutely adored the Tim Burton films.
Oh, really? So you prefer Michael
Yeah.
Keaton? Wow.
Michael Keaton Batman. Michael Keaton Batman is my favourite.
What's he called? Jack Nicholson.
Jack
That's
Nicholson.
The one.
Yeah. So he was amazing, but I love Jack Nicholson anyway. As an actor, and him taking that role was. Obviously, I didn't know it was him at the time, because I was like 4 or 5 or whatever. But going back and watching it 1,000,001 times, is definitely up there. But it's tough, because they all had a time and a place and a type of film, and they all absolutely suited the role and the film that there was intended to be in. However, if I was to choose one out of every single one of them, it would be Mark Hamill's Joker in the Batman games.
John Breeze echoes that in the chat. Says Joker in Arkham Asylum, amazing. I echo what Connor says. Heath Ledger's Joker is probably my favourite acting from anyone ever. I think the Batman, not so much the Dark Knight trilogy, but Dark Knight, the Dark Knight is probably up there with my favourite superhero film / favourite films of all time. It's badass. Jared Leto. Poopy pants.
Got about 20 minutes of airtime in that film.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Jared Leto, so it's not for me. So yeah, I definitely go Heath Ledger. I do think Joaquin Phoenix's acting was incredible. Just, I'm quite simple. I'm a simple man. So when it comes to films, I like films that kind of go somewhere and have a story and kind of end with a resolution kind of thing. Whereas Joaquin Phoenix's Joker doesn't feel like it's made for there to be a sequel, but it also feels like it's one of those films that ends and lets you know that it's the start of something.
Yeah.
And whilst you get a lot of really good cinematic films that do that, watch The Irishman on the weekend, and that obviously just kind of, I won't any spoilers. It ends the way it ends, and it kind of, whilst you go on a journey, you go on more of an emotional journey and it's stuff like that. And the same sort of thing with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. You go on that emotional journey, you understand, but in terms of, you don't really do anything new in terms of the Batman storyline. Which, quite a lot of people have said it's a hard watch. It's more of a difficult watch. It's more about learning the roots and the origins. And I do get that, and it is really good for that. But because of the storytelling, I prefer Heath Ledger's.
Cesar Romero. He was the one from the 60s Batman with Adam West.
Anyway, let's move on. We've spoken about Joker, we've spoken about Batman and Predator and all of the things Terminator and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Let's move on to something a little bit more depressing. Resident Evil 8. Oh no, we've done that one already. Okay, let's talk about Google Stadia again. Once again, coming under fire for a lack of updates since launch. This is written by Oliver VanDervoort for Inquisitor. Both Oliver and Inquisitor are new to the scoop, so congratulations, guys! You have made it to Ice Cream Uploads. We have seen you. You are on the big screen. So thank you very much for your efforts. It's been recognised with this article, and I'll jump in. It says, when the Google Stadia platform was first announced, it was billed as something that was going to change the gaming world forever. Since its launch, the product has fallen well short of expectations, even by those who claimed they were devout fans since it was released. This week, the pressure was dialed up a notch when a user in the platform's dedicated subreddit pointed out just how silent Google's been about Stadia since the much heralded launch. Reddit user, well, he's clearly not a super fan with a name like Gizoogle, posted that it had officially been 40 days since the platform got a new game. They pointed out it's only been available for consumers for 69 days. The user concluded the post by saying that fans of Google Stadia need to demand more of the service. They also implored other Reddit users to attempt to get better communication and more answers from the parent company. And then there's a quote embedded in the article that says, now that everyone's renewal date is approaching, I think it's time we outline the issues, in brackets, borrowing from another post of mine from a couple of weeks ago, and attempt to get some sort of response from the Google team that inspires more confidence than what we've seen so far. Gizoogle pointed out there haven't been any more updates on the additional games coming in 2020 beyond an announcement a little less than 2 weeks ago. The service expected to add 120 titles this year. I think this is where they're missing from there. Anyway, there also still isn't any mention of when Stadia will come to iOS, and the service is still several months away from being able to offer content in 4K, which is, I thought that was one of the big things, gaming, 4K on the go, but without 4K and not on the go if you've got an iOS device. So yeah, kind of just, it's gaming. Oh, does that not exist already? But with, I don't know. Anyway, so Gizoogle also pointed out that there hasn't been any mention of the Stadia base or family sharing. What the Reddit user was most annoyed about was that the company hadn't come out and explained why there was still such a wait. Oh, all the adverts in the world. My God, there's more adverts than article in this website. The company hadn't come out and said there wasn't. Anything to report. The thread finally changed that, at least. A community manager going by the moniker Grace from Google posted a response just a few hours later. The post by the manager attempted to make it clear she understood why the original poster, as well as several other people in the subreddit, were frustrated. The Google employee also said that unfortunately she wasn't able to come to the thread with any kind of big announcement. She did say she would be taking back the concerns and frustrations that were voiced by many users who participated. The three had more than 8,000 upvotes and hundreds of replies, but she didn't have any big news on the horizon for Google Stadia. The question now is just how long fans of the service can be satiated by contact of any kind. And there we go. All of the adverts in the world. I mean, are these just adverts or are these mid-article adverts? We can't tell. So, as I'll bring the discussion now, Stadia under fire again.
What more can we say about this at the moment? Like, I mean, every time we mention the word Stadia, it's a slippery slope for him. You can't really excuse it though at this point. Like, even if there is super fanboys of Stadia out there that absolutely love what they've given them so far and everything. 1 second.
For those
to get a bit waspy then.
Are unsure, Baby just dabbed and used the coffee kind of thing to. Yeah, we get it, babe. We get it. That was a weird dab. Connor in the chat.
It seems weird at this point that, I don't even know how to say this, but basically, even if there is fanboys out there, you cannot keep on. Well, you are going to defend it. What's the fucking point?
Well, they're not. I mean, I suppose that's the point. They're not. Gizoogle, who his name is the word Google, but gizmos, I'd imagine. So some guy who's based his name around Google technology clearly is going to be a fan of Google technology. The fact that he has 8,000 upvotes in his comments against the company shows that even their own fanboys have now gone, that's it, we're done. You need to sort some shit out. If you're not going to give us anything, at least give us communication. And that's the thing is, we've mentioned it a few times, having a beta or having early access gives you the freedom to say, look, we never promised anything. We've told you that we will get something amazing. We've promised you that. We didn't give you a timeline. We've told you this is an early access. It's not a full release. You have invested in potential. Whereas these guys haven't done that. They've promised everything. They promised 4K, 60 FPS, gaming on the go, as good as a PC, all of that, lag-free gaming. And as Magic said, gaming, that's yet to go. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of, there is no 4K at the moment. There was no trophies at launch. You couldn't share your codes with your friends until weeks afterwards. All of these basic things weren't there. The store isn't accessible on mobile devices. You can only access it from a PC browser. What if you don't have a PC? What if you literally have a tablet or a mobile or whatever? How do you get the games? What is this about? If you have an iOS device and you bought it because it's coming to all mobile things, there's no news about whether it's coming to an iOS device. I have an iOS device. We have Stadia. I could never play this on the go because it doesn't work with me. Maybe could, but only because he's got one mobile platform and I have another. Yes, I get that Google owns Android and makes devices for it. Completely get that would come first. But even now, I mean, why announce it and not have it ready for iOS? It's not as if Google has never done anything for iOS or has never been aware of them. This should have been all part of it. The fact that they've hit V1. It's not version 0.2 or 0.3 or whatever. They've gone for version 1. They've launched a full product and has none of the bits that they promised to deliver. If it was an early access game and they did, like, let's use PUBG as an example. Launched in early access. It didn't launch with squads, didn't launch with duos. It was just solos. All of that stuff came later. Arguably, they are the better game modes. Playing 1v1s versus 4v4s, people would usually choose 4v4s if you got someone else to play with. It's just a better. But it didn't launch with that. And Google could have launched without all of their key functions that will see the platform lasting forever. But the fact that they promised it and didn't deliver any of it, that's where they've dropped an absolute massive bollock.
Yeah, I agree. It needs to be better. It needs to be better because we've said it a million and one times. It is the future of video games, and I can't stress it enough that this is the way that it's going to go. You want to be able to play the games anywhere you go. At the moment, you've got one option, which is pretty much either two options: your Nintendo Switch or any kind of other Nintendo handheld, and your mobile phone to play the best games that are out at the moment. And even mobile gaming, for me, with my massive hands, just doesn't. It's not worth the hassle. So playing my Nintendo Switch is the way that it is. If you're telling me that I can take my laptop, plug a dongle in, or just plug my controller into the PC and play these AAA titles anywhere in the world, then that's absolutely incredible, and it is the future. However, at the moment, they're not dealing with it properly. xCloud is coming very, very soon, and it will no doubt take the crown of how we're going to be playing games, especially on the Xbox and anywhere for that fact. And Google must be shitting themselves now because they're doing it so much better than they are.
So I was typing something that kind of elaborated on your point. We were looking at a Kickstarter video in the ice cream office not too long ago, which was kind of that game GTA meets. Can't remember what it was or what the game was. Anyway, I don't need to bring the video up. I was going to bring it up of this Kickstarter project that kind of promised like the ideal thing, an online game, like an MMO sort of thing, GTA elements to it. You can be a guy, you can build up, and then you can be a cop, you can build up to be a mayor, maybe the president or whatever. It just sounded amazing and it promised the absolute world. Anyway, it got kind of dropped because when you're reading between the lines, they needed more money than they needed. They couldn't actually deliver on their promises, and then it fell away. You can usually on the internet, when something sounds too good to be true, it is. However, with a company like Google, with all of their actually, let me open up this browser because we've got another one of these dodgy sites that has like the weirdest little. Look at this in the bottom corner. This kid just absolutely going ham at the camera. What is this? Go away! I'm trying to present the scoop. Anyway, yeah, when you get it from Google, you kind of expect. No, these guys are going to give you something. You're not going to get debated by Google, but we absolutely did. They debated and goes, yeah, we'll give you all the stuff, except it doesn't come with any of the stuff. And it's like, what? No one can get away with that, and they aren't getting away with it. And the shit thing is, we have invested. So I mean, we say it every time. We're disappointed. We're not angry. No, we are angry. We're angry, but we are disappointed. That's it there, I think, Craig, with the link. I'll hit this link while I'm talking over it. Raw, that's the game. Skip ads, get out of here. So this is the game. I mean, it looks incredible. So that's the thing. Killer Whale Games presents. The link is in the chat. Feel free to click through it if you want to listen to it all. It's about a 7 or 8 minute video or something like that. It's only 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. Watch it. It's really good in terms of the creation behind the video, the direction, the voiceover, building, the desire to want to play it. That's all really good, but it's easy to build desire if you don't actually have to deliver it. And that's the thing. If you build the desire and you can't deliver it, then you're just going to piss a lot of people off, and that's what Google have done with Stadia. Like I say, we are disappointed because we invested in the Founders Edition. We have one in the office. We've showed it on stream. We had plans to do some Google Stadia streams. Bibby even got, I mean, you will have seen him talking about Destiny just at the end of last year. Bibby even got fully into Destiny. As part of the prep for that, he played a lot of Destiny on PC, played it on console, so he had a full breadth of knowledge from across the spectrum. Played Stadia on his desk next to me in the ice cream office, and the differences between one and the other was just shocking, weren't they, Bib?
Yeah, you couldn't. It's we've got a stupid connection in the office. Obviously, because we stream, we use we're not only are we a streaming platform. Jesus Christ! Oh!
Dab.
Not only we dab. Not only do we stream obviously on platforms like Twitch, we have a proper business where we need to have a massively good, the best internet there is possible. Put it that way. And for us and my experience with it as it stands, just didn't meet the requirements that I was getting on my PC or the PlayStation for that fact. So for me, it doesn't cater for me just yet until they start to sort the shit out. It's kind of getting the way that the people who are the biggest backers don't seem to be taking it anymore.
Can't
either.
Hear you. The volume is too loud. Do you mean me? Do you mean Craig?
Oh no, I know it would have been the volume in the game.
On the video?
The trailer, yeah.
That was muted. I don't get it. I'm confused. Are you sure you've not got the volume on at your end, Craig? Because it's like, even if I open up the video now, ads please, dropping 50 bits. Thank you very much for the 50 bits.
Appreciate that, mate.
Ignore me, lol. He was playing on my end. I can't hear you because I'm playing things. Oh wow, let me fix that.
Loud noises.
Honestly, Craig, you've just undone all of that foreskins work that you've put in over the last few days. Get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh shh.
It's like the Tropic Thunder meme pic I saw. We had unproven hardware and went full retail. You went full retail? Never go full retail! No, I've not seen that one. That's pretty cool. That nails it. What were you shitting at then? You sound like
I can't tell you on the airwaves.
Oh, okay. But interesting. Secrets.
Oh no, it's okay. Woo! It's okay. It's fine. I still can't tell you, but it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think... Oh, I've just lost my pen. Very back. I think that is the end of today's Scoop. 3 down for the week. Thank you very much for joining us in the chat. Thank you very much for the follows, for the hosts, for the bits, ads players as well. Feel free to drop a follow on the channel if you are here. We do this at 10 a.m. each and every single weekday live on Twitch. So if you were here, if you're new, if you're watching, make sure you hit the follow button. It's kind of like there somewhere, because then you get notified when we go live. Obviously, if you haven't seen the start of this, the full video will be able to watch on demand on Twitch. We will also tweet out links to the video on demand on YouTube plus 4 audio podcasts too. We put it everywhere so you guys can get the scoop on the go. Nice face! whose emote is that? That is class. Nice face. Oh, thanks, mate. That's very good. But yes, obviously we will tweet out the links to that and everything on our social media channels. Number One Pirate has dropped the links in the chat. Got there before Connor today. So pow, take that in your face. All the links there. If you're not sure, if you can't click the links right now, then at Ice Cream Uploads, that's us everywhere. Just search for Ice Cream Uploads and you will find us, whatever platform you want. Anything you would like to add before we disappear for the day, babe?
Yes, as always, if you do see anything that's knocking around the video game hemisphere that you want to hear our opinion on, that doesn't include any kind of foreskin, then please feel free to tag either myself at We've Got Vibinio, at Graham_Day on Twitter, at Ice Cream Uploads.
Dab.
And also, it's coming, and at Jeroen as well, because I know at some point he will be back with us. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And Josie will be live in half an hour's time.
Lovely. Connor's dropped exclamation mark merch in the chat. That's if you want to get yourself some lovely Ice Cream Uploads merchandise. We have hats, t-shirts, and even esports jerseys in there, so make sure you go check it out. That's an impressive room there, Graham. Well, thank you very much, Madge. Do you know what? Let's stick Bib on the shelf, even though it won't really work because he's not in a blue screen setup. But yeah, let's see a little bit more. Yeah, it's all right. It's taken a bit of time, and I've had a bit of spot off my better half, so there we go. What were you laughing at? Your eye on the shelf?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually.
It took a while to come through.
For those of you that don't know how that works, I essentially have 3 scenes set up for the scoop. There's me on the big screen here. Then we can jump to get Bibby on big screen, me in picture-in-picture, and then we have Bibby over my shoulder. So we have a little body sat on a shelf, and it's usually Bibby's head there, because when he's in the ice cream studio, he's obviously at home today, but when he's in the ice cream studio, that's usually chroma keyed, so all of the background it disappears, and it's just Bibby's head like he's sat on the shelf. Anyway, that's the point. But yeah, he's not in the studio. He's chilling out in his home studio with Buster the cat behind him, so we don't have the chroma key stuff set up. But there we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as Bibby said, feel free to include us in any social post that you have. Josie will be live in around half an hour with more Death Stranding. I believe she must be getting near the end now. I keep wanting to check in, and she was streaming yesterday, and I was actually in the studio next to her. I was kind of like, nope, not listening, because I do have the game and I want to play through it. So yes, all I can tell you is that she is playing it, and she's played quite a bit, but I can't tell you what or why or where or whatever. If you want to see that, you'll have to tune in for yourself. She'll be live from 12 today, and then same again each and every Tuesday, Wednesday, so make sure you check that out. But we will be back tomorrow from more home setup. However, Bib will be back in the studio then, so we can stick him on the shelf there. So if you want to see that, make sure you drop back in 10 a.m. tomorrow. Until then, have yourselves a spectacular Wednesday. It's the hump day. Make sure you get through it and see us for the nice wind down to the weekend for Thursday's episode of The Scoop. And until then, stay frosty.